My name is Bj Thorne, and I'm from Arkansas. I'm a wife, a mother, a nurse, and one of the most exciting roles that I have is as the creator and president of the Angels Pageant System. We created the system almost 3 years ago because of one little girl. My daughter, who's quadriplegic as a result of being born premature, she wanted to be in a pageant like her sister. She has a twin sister who has done a few, where we didn't do a whole lot of pageants in the past, but I believe God led us to do them for us to do what we do now. We basically just went to go pick out a dress for Bailey and Lauren, which are two of my girls. They were trying on their dresses, and I had something happen that had never happened to me before. I had a lady stop and point to my daughter in her wheelchair and say, "What about her?" And that was the first time that I ever remember somebody, including her, and stopping everything and just really wanted to let her try on a dress just like the other girls. And at first I refused. I said, no, I couldn't do that. She's nearly as tall as I am. Trying to get her in and out of a dress is very awkward. But unfortunately, Andrea heard her. So that caused her to really want to be able to put on a dress. And so I did. And we put her in her wheelchair, and the beautiful woman that owned the store, she just ran immediately and got a tiara and put it on her head. And the most famous words in our organization now are, "Mama, can I do a pageant?" And those were her words. And you know, I looked at her and just thought, why not? She's just like everybody else. She just does things differently. Well, we were very blessed in the beginning of our pageant quest, if you will. We were contacted by Judy James and Crowned by the King Ministry. We had a spot on K-Love, and she heard our story. So to get that phone call was very exciting, to know that someone actually wanted to help with what we were doing. Judy and we visited for probably all of 8 minutes on the phone. And I could already tell that she was so excited, and she told me about the Crowned by the King Ministry. And it was so crazy because my co-director and I had been looking for a cross necklace, something for the mothers, because we felt like we wanted to celebrate their triumphs as well, because no child gets through this alone. And so we were so excited, and she got me on the phone, and the one question she had, I mean, she was so ambitious. She was like, okay, so I want to come and I want to be able to crown all the mothers. How many do you have? I said 120. And I think that number hit her like a ton of bricks. And I think that's when she was sold, to know that there were that many families in need of what she had available, because the necklace itself is a piece of jewelry, but the meaning behind it is so much more. And the partnership that we have now coincides with everything that we stand for as the Angels Pageant. The beauty part of it, the love part of it, the embracing of all of these individuals' differences. What we decided to do even worked out so much better than we could have ever imagined. Rather than giving necklaces to all the mothers, between the two of us, we decided, let's let the Lord decide who gets these necklaces. So we did random drawings. And some of those mothers, after crowning 1,000 kids in the last 3 years, it's almost changed their perspective. It's created a sisterhood, if you will. And I've been very fortunate to be able to crown several of these mothers. And what I always try to tell them, the first thing that I tell them is, He sees you. He hears you. You aren't alone. You're not invisible. Even though every day it might be hard, because it is hard. My daughter's 14. She's quadriplegic. She will never be able to put her own pants on. But I have the strength to do that for her. I am her legs. I am her arms. Sometimes I'm her mouth. And it's the same way with Jesus. That's what we are supposed to be. His hands, His feet. And I think that out of everything that we do in our system, the Crowned by the King ministry and the partnership that we have completes the package, using this as a symbol that it's so much more than just jewelry. One of the most memorable moments that I have of being able to crown a mother was recently during my first pageant that we had. My daughter was very sick. We weren't even at the first pageant. That's how things work out sometimes. And out of all the families and all of the people that we had praying for us, we had one family in particular that came to the hospital, and they just wanted to check on Andrea and make sure she was okay, and to check on me. And you know, when you're in the public eye a lot, people assume that there's people around all the time doing that. It's not always the case. And we were very blessed for them to come and check on us. Their little boy was in the pageant that day, and he was just so precious, and I just wanted to hug him to pieces. And I really almost hugged him to pieces because I needed that. I needed to feel that human touch that I couldn't do with my own child. She was very, very ill, and it kind of filled me up for a minute. And 6 months after that, he passed away. And before he had passed away, his family had decided that they wanted to host an angel pageant in their area. I know that had to be one of the most difficult decisions, was to continue with the plans after losing their angel. I know it was difficult for me to go and see the end of an angel's life. And we've lost several angels along the way. And I say lost, I mean, Lord just took them back home is really all that happened. They're just ours for a minute. And his family just stuck in there and created the same pageant for the children in their area. And when we crowned his mother, his grandma was with me, and you could just tell that that was something that, first of all, they had not been to another pageant since his pageant. We've had several since then, and there was never that closure part of it. And crowning her kind of completed the circle, that it was a little piece of her and a little piece of him, and a memory from not only the pageant that they created for their area, but also of the original pageant that they were a part of. And to be able to say to her again, you know, that he sees you and he knows your heart, and he knows that you're hurting, and he's so proud of you, to me is more than just lip service. It's really, we're able to speak through the Crowned by the King ministry, and we're able to tell these families, you're going to be okay, and it's going to be okay.